If you figure out what that song is that I'm singing, say it in the chat. Welcome to another live stream. I hope the stream is active, and I hope I find you in good health. It is Saturday, May 20th. It is Victoria Day weekend, and here in Canada, while celebrating the Queen, because we still consider her a bit of royalty around here, we drink lots of beer. And we usually call it May 2-4 weekend. And I don't know what they call a case of beer where you're from, but where I'm from, it's mostly called a 2-4. So, keeping with tradition of drinking in a plastic cup, because you know how glass will get you in trouble. I don't know what that means, but the old ladies, they're all about, oh, just wait. I know there's no head on the beer. It's beer, though. Promise. We gotta say cheers to my wife, Renee, because she put the camera in focus. And I know a lot of you don't believe that I'm not really visually impaired, but getting that camera in focus is a little bit past my abilities. So that happened. So let me just make sure that this is running. Okay, looks like we've got a visitor, and the stream is live, it says. And just when that guy starts talking, chatting away to me and all that jazz. Okay, yep, we got it. We're good. Pending all disaster. So recently I was asked by a modeler, Ken Patterson, if I'd do a little intro for his show, because he fancies me a funny guy. And while out in the woods one day with my daughter, I go, oh man, there's that moss that Chester was talking about in that interview. So cheers to the wife. Cheers. I got down to, I looked at this tree stump. It was all rotten away. And I thought to myself, well, there's that moss that Chester was talking about in that interview. And, so I got down and I pulled out the camera, because I always walk around with the camera, and, did my little intro for, Ken Patterson's, What's Neat show. So you might actually see that. It might got kicked to the curb. He might have been just blowing hot air up my butt. It happens. I'm not worried. I trudge on. Here's the piece of moss. We got a whole bunch of it, and Chester, I believe, described it as Emperor's moss. And there's a certain type of moss, breaking right into this. It might not be a long live stream today, because if it's a long live stream with me starting with the beer, it's gonna deteriorate, let's just say. We don't want that to happen. So, some mosses look like velvet. They're very tight, very short. This stuff, I don't know what this is called, because Chester lives in Maine, which is by the Atlantic Ocean. And I live in the middle of the Great Lakes. I don't know if it's a different temperate zone or not. He could be part of the Carolinian I forget what it's called. I think it's, I don't know what it's called. Anyways, so I took my moss. It's got bark on the back of it and stuff like that. So I had to soak it in water a couple of times, squeeze it out and dry it out, then wash it again. And after a couple of turns, we got a whole bunch of moss here that is easily pulled apart. And as you can see, it gets to the point where you can start pulling it apart, and there's strings attached to it. So this technique today is not, there's a perfect no, we're gonna do it to this camera because this camera does it. You know what I mean. So it pulls out to things like this. So I'm going to figure out how to do Chester's technique without him having to tell me all the stuff. I figure that I've sorted out what we need to do. Cheers to the Queen. Now I did this show so that I could get friends from the UK to join the show. However, there's a funny thing about these live streams. If you know what, when you're doing the live stream, you want to wait for people to come on and watch. However, when you're sharing the live stream after the fact, you get a lot of complaints about people saying, "What are you waiting for? I don't want to watch this thing now." And it's kind of like you got to tell them that they have to fast forward to where the technique starts happening because you're waiting for people to join in. But you know what? I'm not going to wait for people to join in on nights where we're doing a technique or something that I'm going to make a thumbnail for and all that jazz. If it's a Q&A, we'll wait maybe 10 minutes. I don't know if you are a chatty kind of person. Chat in the side. Tell me what you're interested in. The other thing that I've noticed is that, you know, until the chat thing starts filling up, I'm not going to take up the screen with it either. So use it or lose it. You hear what I'm saying? So I decided a couple of things that I need to do to make this vine stuff stick properly to the wall to become a climbing vine. We've got salutations, Billy. So I figured that you really can't paint the wall. We're going to put our vines along the back of the wall here, and then maybe have it come around the front of the building up around the windows here. So we've got a lot of vines that are going to be able to do this, but I'm not really impressed with the idea of putting straight glue on the wall and then putting my vines in there. Because what I want to do really is I want to preserve the vines. All the vines have had at this point is washed in soapy water and then dried and then washed again and then dried. Then washed again and then dried. You get the point? So there's little maybe chunks of dirt. I'm going to try to get nice sections and stuff like that, but I think that the trick to this will be for me to spray my moss with the wet water that has dish soap in it, and as we heard before, it will break the surface tension of our fluids and allow it to penetrate the plant itself. So there's going to be a couple of steps to this process. We're going to spray this stuff with our wet water. This is just plain tap water with a couple of drops of dish soap in it to make it able to break the surface tension. So we're going to get wet water and put it onto our moss and let it soak in for a couple of seconds. It won't take long for it to soak in, because if we had straight water, it would bubble up on top and it would take probably about an hour to soak in. But this wet water is designed and created with the purpose of penetrating the substance that it flies onto. So there's that first step. Second step is to make a proper glue. Now, my scenic glue is pretty wet. It's too wet, and my scenic glue will not allow the moss to stick to the walls of the building and stay there. It won't have that sticky component to it. It's kind of more of the type that you can't see that. It's more of the type of substance that'll come in and penetrate little bushes like this and make it kind of hard, but it won't glue it down. Even when I'm doing this stuff, I have to put straight glue on it to get it to stick to the base. So what I have planned is to take my straight glue, which is almost out. A bottle like this will only last me about a month. I gotta get a big jug of it again. That'll last me about 9 to 10 months. So I'm gonna take some glue, and I want to get a nice chunk in the bottom of this. So I hope you guys are having fun this weekend. If I don't know if there's a long weekend in the UK. I don't know if there's a long weekend in the United States this weekend. But this weekend here, Canadians like to go out and camp. Which is kind of funny because it's still cold out there. It's still really cold out there. Okay. So that's enough glue, I think. Put this to the side. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my scenic glue here and I'm going to pour it in. And as you can see, it's really wet. So I'm just using a little bit. And in the scale of things, it's probably 50-50 scenic glue to straight glue. We're going to take a little tool like this and that's probably good enough. And mix this around so that we kind of thicken up our scenic glue. Now the scenic glue has a bit of glycerin in it. Oh no, that's a lie. I have a habit of doing that every once in a while, fibbing to y'all. It's got dish soap in it, but in the future I'm gonna start putting glycerin in it. And Billy asked me a couple of days ago, where do you get glycerin? You get glycerin at the pharmacy, and it's in Canada. It's in the same type of bottle as you get your isopropyl alcohol in. It's probably about $3 a bottle. It'll go a long ways in your modeling projects. So I think this is gonna work. If it doesn't, that's why we're starting at the back. So I'm gonna take my structure here and try to stand it up in such a way doesn't break any detail parts. by propping it on a couple of pieces of metal here. Put this under there. There we go. There we go. Now that doesn't work for the camera though. I can't win. That's not going to work either. Okay, we'll fix this up. Okay. Like this. Like this. There you go. That was a creaking door. Whew. Okay. So the moss is fairly wet at the moment, which is good. We've got our scenic glue here, which is wet and soaking out. And now I'm going to pull out a couple of nice pieces of vine that are fairly long. And I got to go through a couple of pieces here. So I hope you're having a... If you have any questions, here's a nice piece. Look at that. That's a champ. That's what I'm going to start with right there. Okay, we're going to put our... Use our tweezers. I'm going to stick it right in the glue. Yeah. I'm going to let it drip off a bit. Okay, so let's just put her on. I'm going to use the flat edge of my tweezers here. One of the reasons why I wanted to thin out my full strength glue is because I really didn't want to have any thick glue showing on the side of the model. And I know that this is still going to have some glue coming off the side of it, but there's really got to do everything you can to minimize these things. And that's all you can do really is minimizing the bad effects. Here's a nice piece. And now that you can see, I got by spraying the plant with our wet water, the glue really has no problem penetrating the plant fully, which is exactly what I want to happen. Okay, so you might be asking yourself, why didn't you color the plant first? Well, I don't know why I didn't color the plant first. It could be a good question. But the thing is I'm starting on the back of the model here. And the reason I'm starting on the back is because if I want to end up coloring this in the end, I'm going to do that on the front of the model and then pretend like this never happened. Except that it's on video, and well, then that's it. Hello, Lionel Train. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming in and chatting. Hello, Nick Mac 2001. Does that mean you're 17 years or 16 years old? Awesome. Well, maybe, I don't know what it means. Patrick Rivard. Hey, if you already did this before, that's great. Give me some tips. This is stuff that I grabbed from out in the wild for perfectly free. But if you find a product that is perfectly suited for this kind of thing, then all the power to you. That's you know, you gotta. It's just like we said with the willow tree. If you got to keep your eyes open, and you know that means when you're out on a hike, keep your eyes open, and then it also means that when you're at Michael's or your craft store, the old lady's picking up her scrapbooking stuff. You go, man, that looks like climbing wall vines right there. So not all the vines have to start from the very bottom. Sometimes they can be filler for upper parts of the wall. Oh, well, I just lost half of that. I just want to get a good coverage over the whole wall while we start this, because these climbing wall vine, we got glue all over the frickin' place, and I was trying to avoid that. Just note, vines, you're supposed to soak up all the glue. Again, I'm going to use the metal part here so the glue has problems sticking to it rather than it loves to stick to my fingers. Patrick, I got this technique while talking to Chester Fessmeyer. So if you've got a representation of this, look at that piece. That's nice. Nice. If you've got an example of this technique and want to share it with the broader community, you can do so on Facebook via the Modelers Guild group. If you're not a member yet, I can quickly make you a member. Well, me or Bob Boudreau. So, like I said in the beginning, I don't know what kind of moss this is. And I could be wrong. I've got a terrible memory. But Chester Fessmeyer seemed to say, I think he said it was called Emperor's Moss. Back to coloring. If this moss on this wall is too browny, I may come back with some acrylic paint mixed with wet water and lightly touch the moss with our paint to try and get the color to come out. But I seem to think that that we're going to get proper coverage here, and I think it's going to stay green. I don't know. I hope you can see that. Oh, the focus has gone all the crap. How the heck did that happen? Oh, man. Let's see if that does anything. Oh, that sucks. I hope it looks good. Hope it starts looking good. Thank you, Patrick. Hi, Andy. Yeah. You gotta think outside the box, buddy. And the only way you're gonna figure it out is if you get down to doing it. So that's what I did. Now, like I said at the beginning, we might be able to see the tree that I got this off of from Ken Patterson's upcoming video. I don't know if it'll be the June or July show. Might never make it. You know how that goes. Ugh. So this camera, I'm going to do this. You know, I know you guys are going to hate it. I know people are saying that they're thinking I'm going to get rich off of this. I'm not going to get rich. This patron description down at the bottom, the patron description in the chat, all this stuff is all about updating this whole stream for you. And as I can see on my monitor, this is out of focus. And this is a fixed focus camera, and I really can't muck with it because I don't have the eyes to do it. Well, actually, I'll go demonstrate in a second to try to get it into focus. One more point is I'm using my weld bond glue, and I know I often say it, but you know, there's a lot of glues out there that do not have a perfectly clear finish at the end that is waterproof. And I am really interested in having a really clear finish, but is water resistant. Now, Patrick. That's a good idea, Andy, about the paint on natural products, or using ink on natural products. However, if you watched the sign episode earlier this week, ink has a way of getting away on me. And once bitten, twice shy, is how they say it. Maybe I could use water-soluble oils with some turpentine, and maybe that, I don't know. Making me think. And then Patrick Rivard says, use a piece of paper towel to soak up the excess glue. This may help. And that is a good idea, Patrick. The excess glue is dropping to the bottom of the wall. Up top, it looks like it is coming down the wall, is soaking its way down with gravity, because it's on, it looks like it's on about a 25 degree angle. But then you say add some flour to material to make it look like clematis. Now that is a great idea. What color flowers is it? Probably red. We don't have clematis here. So is it a white flower, red flower? Because I could do that. You know, you get this ground foam material from companies sometimes, and they've got a red and an orange and these weird colors that you really never use them for anything. So maybe those would be perfect for this thing. It's time to cheers the Queen again. Remember, Victoria Day weekend. So that is a great idea. That's who you are, Patrick. You gave me an email last year, invited me to come down. That is an opportunity. And you know what, Patrick? We're going to forget about the show for a second because, you know, it's my show. I'm running the show. Nobody's here to say, this is a bad idea. But Patrick, okay, so the Sylvan Scale Models, Claire Gilbert, I'm sure you know of him. And if you don't know of him, you know of his products. He did the Laker boat in resin that was on the cover of Walther's. He's having a open house first Saturday of June in Sylvan at his house. And if you go to the Sylvan Scale Models website, you'll get the information on his address and the times and all that jazz. And I'll be there. And I've heard that a couple of very talented modelers are going to be there. One of them being Doug Coffey. Excuse me. To the Queen! So that would be a great time for us to break the ice. You know, maybe meet for the first time. I'm interested in going down to your house and playing trains and checking things out for sure. Purple or blue? I don't have those colors, man. I'm going to have to look for them. It's typical that you'd pick a color that I don't got. So Patrick, and then, you know, another benefit of joining the Modelers Guild group, Patrick, is that Bob Boudreau, a very famous Canadian photographer of model trains and he's a model railroad author, is a co-admin, and he's constantly sharing photos of past and present of his work, and it's just simply amazing. I'm truly blessed by the modelers who are around me at Modelers Guild. It's up to my game year after year after year. So I haven't avoided going to your house. It's just that, well, I lied again. I'm a liar. I'm a nervous kind of guy, and the very idea of going to somebody's house that I don't know scares the living bejesus out of me. So, you know, now that you come into the call, I feel like I know you a little bit better, and that's kind of the thing that makes me feel like I have to go. So, let's do it. You can send me an email again and remind me. Well then, if you've been to Claire Gilbert's, let's meet. Let's go. I'll try to be there as long as possible that day. Claire's a great guy. Like, he really is down to earth, you know? Like, I emailed him and I said, like, his house is right beside the Scouts camp. And I've been camping beside Claire's house for about 7 or 8 years now. And it's been an amazing, like, I was camping there. I could have knocked on his door when I was freezing my butt off, but I didn't know the guy. So, but I gave him a message and said, you know, I've been around your property a couple of times camping with the Scouts a number of times. Do you care to meet? The guy took me in. You know, we had coffee. He shared with me story after story after story about the hobby. He showed me the insides of his shop. He shared with me while he was making materials. He was making his little scale cars. He introduced me to the entire crew. He showed me how he does it, how he designs his pilot models. Claire Gilbert is a gem. He is the kind of person you just hope you meet in this hobby. So it's great that you've met him too. Hopefully we could I know you don't bite. I'm just, well, you know, some of them do. Tell you the truth, some of them do bite. Let's put the chat up here to the side so people can see. Shall we? Come on. Oh, we gotta remove this one. We gotta do the technical window capture. Call it chat, so we know what it is. Chat, inner window, ding. Then we're gonna go to edit scene. We're gonna move this over here off to the side. And you can see that 5 people are watching. We're hooked up to 5 streams. Which streams are they? They are Daily Motion, Vaughn Live TV, Twitch.tv. This is the YouTube Ron Perry channel, and this is the YouTube Just Another Scale Modeler channel. So I'm actually streaming to a lot of places here. I want to thank you for watching the stream. And you know, next month, we've got our YouTube check coming in, and the Patreon checks are getting bigger and bigger each month. So I'm going to try my best to get a nice camera that's got an autofocus. Because the last one I had got a funny story. My Windows 10 PC over there does this to videos. It really chews up a camera. This very camera that you're watching through right now does this on that computer over there. Well, I had a nice Microsoft autofocusing camera, and I thought, well, what's going on here? Maybe a wire's pulled off on the inside. I pulled the bugger apart, tried to fix it. Then I figured out that it was a Windows problem and not the camera problem. And I'm a whole lot better at taking things apart than putting them back together. Don't you know? It's Victoria Day weekend. Cheers to the Queen. Cheers! So I'm wondering at this point if my glue's too wet. But I don't know if it is, because if I've got thick glue, it dries onto the wall thick. And then you have to pull it off, and it brings a lot of stuff with it. Being thin, oh, we're up to 7 now there, Billy, just the second you said that. Yes, Patrick, he did show me his method for designing the models, where he makes one car and chops it up and does a whole bunch of different uses for it. But you know, it's the kind of thing that he would have to. I would prefer that he say that on the air than me say it on the air, because you know, you get lots of people who will take somebody's technique and not credit somebody, or they'll you know, there's all kinds of crap going on. All kinds of crap. We all know. We all know. Nobody's to blame, really. We all go in and out of doing something wrong, trying to fix it, trying to fix that with ourselves, self-improvement and all that jazz. It's just that, you know, some people have no scruples. And, you know, it's something that if you ever see somebody apologize for something they do, then you know that they feel sorry for it. And I'm one of those people who, I get guilty of doing these, getting mad, having people copy my techniques verbatim and not give me credit. But this technique is Chester Fessmeyer's. Don't you know? So I'm kind of, okay, so last bit, I'm going to put vines around the corner here and maybe do this small little run here. But I think that should be where I stop, because I don't want to turn this building on its side and then have all the stuff that's sitting on our wall nicely held down by gravity to fall off, because doing things twice make me want to curse. Or if you're down south, that cursing means cussing. We don't really ever say that word up here. But then again, we like to swear up here too. From time to time. Thank you, Patrick, for coming to the show. Thank you for reminding me who you were. And yes, I want to come down to your layout and play trains. Maybe I'll bring down some Rapido equipment and we can my RDC. That'll be fun. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, we've got Andy Crawford on the call. We've got Patrick Rivard. We've got Willie Garbin. Billy. Well, look out for Billy. He's a moderator of the chat. If you talk some crap, he's going to kick your butt out. Well, if it's funny crap, he's probably going to leave it for a little bit. We'll overlook some things if you're funny. Funny looking. That doesn't work if you're in the chat. Only funny working looks if you're on camera. You got any jokes for that one, Bill? Huh? Huh? You've been our joker all week, champ. So I'm going to start at the top of the corner here and work my way down. I have a, is it on? Whoa. Okay, I'm looking for him. Where's our visitor from Slovenia? Because that's awesome. Okay, we've got a visitor from my English sucks, from Slovenia, and I started this show specifically at 3 in the afternoon, or 3 some odd, so that we could be on live for people in Europe, because usually when I do a stream at 9 o'clock in the evening, those guys are asleep, and I would never expect anybody to stay up to watch me. But if I stream in the afternoon, I might be able to catch some European people. So that's why we're streaming so early in the day. I want to do streams. I'm trying to figure out the times to do streams, and I think about 2:30 to 3:30 is a good time for Europe, and I want to do that at least once a week until I get till I don't want to do it no more. But And then we're going to do streams at 9 o'clock at night so that we can hit up the North American crowd. And when you do it at 9 o'clock, you also get the Australian crowd to come in, because that's morning time for them. And that's when I wish I could stream, is in the morning time. And so if the crowd... I'm not allowed to turn that off. I really wish I could. But she's pretty quick. Woman, get on it, woman. She's on it. Good. Awesome, Billy. He doesn't have to chat. It'd be nice if you are from somewhere special. Just tell me where you're from so that I know that this is a suitable time for you. It is important to me to be able to reach Europe and Australia, maybe even Asia. For a while there, we had a guy named CSX from Spain, but that was a year or two ago. I'm trying to do this more often. I know they better not want to talk to me, but they ain't gonna get nothing from me. So it's important to me to get viewers from all over the world rather than just cater to the North American crowd. So yeah. Yeah, Billy, there's a 4-minute lag because I'm using the stream multiplier. That means that my stream has to go to the multiplier, then it goes to YouTube. And that way I can use this chat bar in the screen. My YouTube, I tried to do it 2 nights ago with the chat active, and YouTube is a little janky. It doesn't really allow me to do that kind of thing. I'm sure somebody else is, but the wife has she has her marching orders: no coming into the room, otherwise I'm gonna put the camera on her. And you ain't never seen that woman run unless you put a camera on her. Oh, that's a nice piece. Yeah, so I really want to cater to world crowd. And, I'm doing an interview right now with a Chinese guy named Hank Cheng. And he is full Chinese. He can't speak English at all. And he's taking my questions. And with the help of a friend of his who does speak English, he's doing the interview up. And if you watch the Meet the Modeler series, you'll know that I've interviewed the Iraqi modeler Ali Alamedi, and we interviewed the German modeler Ulrike Strauch. I had to think about that so I could get say it right. So it's important to me to do that. I don't want to be a regional modeler. I want to talk to people from all over the world, because you talk to a few German modelers, you'll learn some tricks on faller kits, because that's what they do. It's the faller kits. So, well, not just plastic kits, but you know what I mean. So it's important for me to do that. A new update. I've got a company who we're on the beginning stages of it, and I think I can say that I'm going to go, but it's not set in stone just yet. But I might be going. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going to the Fine Scale Model Expo. I think it is in Pennsylvania this year. I'm going to be going as I'm gonna help a couple of my friends at their tables. It's gonna be a working event. So if you are interested in learning about Craftsman kits and Craftsman kit modeling, that really is the premier show to go to. And I am probably going to be there. This year. So if you want to meet and you're from the United States, that might be a good place for us to shake hands at. I'm going to test this bottom piece out to see if we can have stuff hanging over the side and continue on here. Now, it's real. We're going to try to do this. I'll move it a little bit and see. Wow, that works. That one's a good one. Should have told me to do it. Yeah, it is set in mud, kind of like a little bit of mortar, little mortar. It's not quite finished yet, but so what we've got here is, as you can see, now that I've got it focused for up here, this is a fixed focused camera. I had it set for being focused on the paper down here, which is probably about 8 to 10 inches away. So now it's focused on the building. I'm sorry. And it happens sooner or later. And that's the benefit of this Patreon thing. Next month I'm going to get for sure, well, I'm going to try for sure to get myself a nice autofocus camera. So if you're able to chip in a coffee, the price of a coffee each month, that really goes to a long way. The Patreon is at $55 a video right now, or maybe 51, I don't know. And I do 4 videos a month. So I should be able to afford the camera this month if I, like, there's lots of things that I need to get. I need to get glue and all this stuff. And I really don't use the family budget to pay for these kind of supplies. I just kind of work with what I've got. And, you know, sometimes I stop videos for a while because I really don't have the supplies needed to go for it. So now that we're focused, you can see that the vines are sticking off of the walls a lot. Now, while I don't want to have the vines crushed up against the wall, I want to have some relief, I want to have some shadow, I want to have some pieces coming off. But in an hour or two, when the glue starts setting up a little bit more, I'm going to come back with this metal, my set of tweezers, use the back side of it to try to push some pieces down so that they stick onto the wall nicely. But right now, it's a little bit too wet to do so. I want to thank you for watching. I always feel like I have to be saying something. Now, this is a perfect piece, man. Wish I would have found that at the start. Dude. Always the comedian. Looks like we're almost out of glue too. So we're gonna finish up this video in probably about 5 minutes. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I only got so many names. We had Patrick Rivard. I wish I could see the names of the people. Now say hi so I can say your name on camera. We've got Lionel Train. We got my buddy Billy. We've got Nick Knack 2001. Patrick Rivard. Andy Crawford. And a buddy from Slovenia. Don't worry, you don't have to tell us who you are. You're probably some jokes just have to get nixed. They're rolling around up in there, and somebody's got to stop them. The other night, I said something that one of my viewers emailed me after the show and said, you know, you really shouldn't be saying that type of thing, because he thought that I was saying a racist comment, a disparaging comment about somebody. My neighbor is, he's Mexican, and he really talks really loud. So I call him the Mexican, because he's talking really loud with his accent. And I'm not I'm not into being racist or that kind of bigot or anything like that. It's all in a joke. So when I said the Mexicans kids drove past in their party bus, it's not anything like what it sounded like. I'll apologize. I'm going to have to think about that next time, because I didn't think about what's been being said in the news and stuff like that, and I don't really want to get into that, but I apologize to anybody who was offended by what I said. I didn't mean it in that manner, and I'm not taking away your ability to get mad at saying something like that. It's not something that we like to hear on a regular basis. So I apologize for that, and I'll think about the way I talk from now on. I told the guy next door, and he started laughing. And the thing is he talks so freaking loud, man. Roar, roar, roar. It's like, guys, I keep on telling them that they want him at the circus. I don't know. Now I got weights on the back side of this building so that it doesn't move on me. You might see that there's a little bit of glue on the window itself. That's not going to be a problem, because my windows on this structure were created with glue. I like to do that sometimes. It makes it look like a float glass. Sometimes when you use the acetate that's provided in a kit, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't have any texture to it at all. And anything that gets put on it, I'm going to put this little towel underneath the corner to catch our glue that's streaming down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. We either got a problem. Okay. We're done. We gotta stop. I'm mucking it all up. Bugger. Okay. So you're gonna go on this side now. And we gotta leave this as a hit. We gotta leave it. Because if you don't leave it, it's gonna fall off on you. And that's why you watch the show. Because I'm going to mess this bugger up, drop glue all over the place, and do it on camera, and then you're going to see it, and you're going to say, well, I watched that Ron guy mess it up like crazy. So, yeah. And you wouldn't be, I hope it's a woman, I'm assuming. Oh, Arnie. I got bad eyes. Arnold, I'm sorry. Don't feel shy about talking. I'm the biggest idiot here. You can only go up from here. So I'm going to shut off the stream now, because what's going to happen is we're going to get ahead of ourselves. And the patience that is required in the hobby is sacrosanct. You have to do it. You have to see when all the signs are telling you to stop and start again tomorrow. And I'm going to do just that. So tomorrow night is Sunday, and we'll be doing a live stream Q&A. Sit there and chat, because that seems to be a popular night. If you are a European modeler and you want to contact me and tell me, maybe you're part of a club, or maybe you are part of a forum group on the Model Bond website, or some kind of European gathering of people. I did this show today to be able to cater to you guys, to try to be able to connect with you on the YouTube algorithms and get on the front page with the live stream and all that jazz. Contact me on Facebook. I'm Ron Perry, P-A-R-E. If you want to join the best darn group on Facebook, it's called the Modelers Guild. That's with one L. Some really good modelers there. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the other people. So thanks for watching. We're going to let this glue dry a bit. And probably around 6 or 7 this evening, I'm going to come back with my metal tool and push these parts down. Tomorrow evening, we're going to put more on the front of the building. And until then, cheers to the Queen. Talk to you later, my friends. I'm going to put my hand up like this so I know when to turn off my streamer deemer thing. Talk to you later, my friends.